fashion, music, wellness.
And don't forget sex.
Mostly sex.
If it's trending, they'll be talking about it. Trend Radio is right here.
And right now, I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
And we always have something great to say.
Because it's us. So stay tuned.
You'll be glad you did. Good morning, Elise.
Good morning. You are a little bleary-eyed.
I'm just a little hungover because I had a drink yesterday.
I know, for the very first time, Anthony tried green beer. Yeah, green beer. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then he
I
liked
could say
it.
it was delicious.
And so what happened was he just kept drinking it and drinking it. But did you like the corned beef and cabbage that I made for you?
It was excellent.
Yeah, wasn't it great?
Excellent, yes. And you're making everybody sound like I'm a lush. I did drink that green beer, but it was one mug that I drank.
I know. But you know what?
Anything over one drink, I'm a lightweight.
I know.
Everybody who knows me knows that.
I know. And you're not a lush. Not much. Do you know what, though? He does. He's been bringing in water bottles filled with vodka.
I'm trying to build up my tolerance. One sip, I'm out.
Yeah, that was funny. Well, I have leftover corned beef and cabbage if you want more.
Oh, you couldn't have made it fresh for me? You give me the leftover?
I gave you the fresh. You said you loved it. It was the leftovers that I had, and then, I made it fresh.
Oh, those were leftovers that you gave me.
I gave you the fresh.
I thought you made it this morning.
I made it and gave it to you yesterday for St. Patty's Day. Okay.
Oh, so it was fresh.
Today, it was fresh. Today, I have more if you'd like some for lunch.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's what I was saying.
I'm going to find out if yesterday tasted better than today. Although, they do say that there are many dishes taste best the second day.
Yeah, I'm thinking that this is going to be awesome. And I have that awesome mustard that you like, too.
Oh, yeah, that $20 a bottle mustard.
It was not supposed to be like that, but yeah. Yeah, I have this girlfriend who makes this incredible mustard, and I don't know what happened.
$20 a jar.
It's not $20. It's not whole $20.
Oh,
It's a lot of money, but it's good. You like it, right?
I do like it.
Okay, so isn't it worth it?
It's worth it.
Okay.
It's worth it.
All right.
So, science says there is an actual best time of the day to have sex.
Yes, it does.
And it's not when you think it is.
Well, when do I think? What do you think I think is the best time?
I have no clue.
I think you have a clue. Get inside my head.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so what does science say?
Well, date night, without a doubt, is super important.
Always.
Right? So,
And mornings, when you wake up, also could be super important, depending
right.
on who you wake up next to.
That's right. So, and after you go out on a date, chances are you're going to feel super attracted to your partner and you're going to want to rip their clothes off, right?
Now, that depends on who you're with and
how horny you are.
Exactly. How high your estrogen levels are.
Right. Well, light some candles,
Okay. Romanticize. Yes, I get it. But what does science actually say, Anthony?
All right.
Because you're the scientific one here.
Well, lighting the candles, ripping the clothes off, that's way sexier than doing it in the morning like you just suggested. You got morning breath, your hair's all sticking up. So apparently nighttime is actually a pretty crappy time for most people to have sex also. According to Michael J. Bierce, PhD, he revealed whoever decided couples should have sex at 11 o'clock at night was an idiot.
Oh, that is an idiot because sometimes, you have to be up early the next morning. So you need to go to sleep early and you can't be romping around if you have a meeting, a 9 a.m. meeting. It's not going to work.
That's right. Well, he says the best time to get it on is actually in the morning.
He says in the morning?
Well, he thinks he knows what he's talking about. He wrote a whole book about the best times to do things like have sex.
I guess if you don't have a morning meeting and you can go into work a little bit late, because most people do work. So I guess that morning could be good.
You're getting up at 6 in the morning, or some people earlier. I don't know.
Well, if you don't have to go into to work early, I guess that's fine. It depends. But, it depends on who you are. And if you have kids and you have to get them off to school, it's just not going to happen. But I think that I know the time that would actually be the best time.
Okay. Well, let's see. I'm gonna move on.
Okay,
and
you
we'll
move
see.
on. I know you want to do the big reveal now, don't you?
I'm going to leave the big reveal for you. But this guy, you heard about the power of now.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Eckhart Tolle.
That's right.
Yes.
Well,
I have that book.
this book is called The Power of When. And what this book does is it delves into the idea that people have different chronotypes. And a chronotype that determines exactly when they should do various activities.
Oh.
And of course, timing sex, according to chromotype, is a lot more complicated than saying sex is better in the morning. But people did have that timing in common when it comes to sex.
Okay. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. I really like this book, The Power of When, because when, we do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
The radio show, events,
Exactly.
weddings and things like
Everything
that.
is based on a timeline.
That's right. And we should maybe read this book to find out, let's say, if we're doing a bridal trial. When is the best time to do that bridal trial?
It's interesting. Okay, I'll make a note of that and get that book for us.
Okay.
The Power of When.
The Power of When.
Okay.
Now, 75% of when we have sex, usually, generally speaking, is about convenience, not really desire or connection.
Oh.
See that?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. But, if you're looking for more meaning and passion, then, you got to roll with the flow in terms of
Right.
your hormones.
Okay.
You talk a lot about hormones. And
You talk a lot about hormones.
well, I know how to make a hormone.
I know you do. I'm not even going to say how.
Oh, come on. Al, how do you make a hormone?
You don't pay her.
That's right.
Hey, you've conditioned him well.
Now.
You've conditioned him well.
He also points out there are other perks of morning sex. You haven't been drinking, so you don't have whiskey wiener, and the lights will be on, so you'll get to see what your partner really looks like.
Oh, wow.
A lot of times, now I've never done this, but what is that called? A hookup, or we used to call it a one-night stand.
Right.
Okay, so you've been drinking a little bit. It's dark. You don't really know what she looks like, but at 2:00 in the morning, does it really matter?
After you've had a night all night, yeah, you
Yes.
don't really care. Yeah, guys just don't. Some girls don't
Girls
either.
don't either.
Some girls don't. Yeah, that's true.
That's right. They're just looking for,
A hookup, yeah. Looking up for a body.
So there's really science that's backing up why sex is better in the morning than it is at night.
Okay.
And you do need certain hormones like testosterone,
Sure.
estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, adrenaline, oxytocin, and vasopressin.
And a whole bunch more.
Right, to become sexually aroused. And all of these are actually low in the evening.
Wow.
You see that?
That is interesting. I guess after your body sleeps and you rest and you heal from the day before, everything is perky and going.
That's right. And the body's biorhythms aren't urging us towards any physical activity, but towards sleep at evening. That's what our
interesting.
bodies want us to do, go to sleep.
Right.
Now, of course, though, sex is an individual thing, and it's going to vary from person to person.
Of course. And couple to couple.
That's right. Like my ex, no time was a good time for sex.
Okay.
We're going to cut that one out.
No, we're not. Continue. Go on.
Okay. So maybe you should start setting your alarm clock a little earlier than usual out there.
Okay.
All right. So your man wants to have a threesome.
Oh. Interesting.
What do you do? Wow.
Well, I guess that depends on what you want to do for your man.
Well, okay.
Okay. You
So-
know, it depends on how close the two of you are and how much you trust each other.
Yeah, I think it's all about a lot about the trust.
Trust is very important.
Okay, so I guess it kind of goes a little like this, you and your man, you're having a hot night. You're curling up together in bliss. And suddenly
He says he needs more?
you feel open. You feel open to new things. So while wrapped up in his arms,
Okay.
you decide to ask the question, so honey, what's your fantasy? You await his response. He's silent.
And he's thinking, do I say it and
Yes.
ruin the mood? Or do I say it and expand on the mood? Do I say it and risk everything? Or do I say it and end this in bliss? It's up and down, what to do?
What to do, what to do. He simply utters, I'd like to have a threesome. Uh-oh. What do? Your mind begins to race. You expected him to want to shower you with vibrators or incorporate food into your regime,
You
or
never
try some
expected-
frisky teacher-student role playing.
You never expected another person to enter the mix.
No,
Yeah.
that's right. A living, breathing human person.
Girl.
Yeah, gotta be a girl. Gotta be a girl.
No, what I'm saying is you didn't expect that your guy would actually want another girl. Because why would he want another girl? In your mind, aren't I good enough? Aren't I enough for you? Aren't we passionate enough? Don't we have great sex? Why would you want to add another woman to our mix? But I don't think it's really like that in his mind. I don't think that it's really that he needs or wants somebody else. I think he just wants to enhance what the two of you have.
So you get a little hot from the idea
Maybe.
of satisfying his needs.
Okay, yeah.
So what's wrong? What's a sexual woman to do? Well,
Okay, then.
we here at Trend Radio, your humble hosts, Elise and I, are going to tell you.
Okay, then.
So, ask yourself if you want it. Don't lie to yourself. 'Cause
You have to actually really want to please him.
That's
and you
right.
have to want to be able to do this for him and with him. And you actually also have to trust him.
that's right.
And he has to actually, if you're going to do this and you're going to open up that very, very, very private part of your life, you are going to have to set some rules and some boundaries. There has to be.
But it is totally okay if you don't want to do it.
Yes.
Check your own intuition. Check your gut.
Because that's where the trust comes in.
That's
You
right.
have to be able to trust him because you can't be think about this. You can't invite somebody in and then the next thing you know, they're meeting by themselves.
Oh, that's a big no-no.
That would be bad,
Yes.
and she cannot have his number and vice versa because they can't be having sexy texts. That can't be okay.
It has to go between the two girls.
Yeah, the two women have to be the setup.
Guys out there, if you're listening, the women always make the decision. You have nothing to say in the matter. You can only hope the woman knows. But Dr. Megan Fleming, she's a sex and relationship therapist. She says, ask yourself, is this something that you think would be a turn on for you? Or are you doing this just out of obligation or duty or something that you have to do?
Interesting. That's an interesting way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, she says, if you're pushing your body to do something it doesn't want to do,
It's not going to be good for you.
no, it's not going to
It's
be
not
good.
going to work.
You know, but trust me, it's hot.
Well, you're a guy. Guys think that's hot.
Yeah, we do, and really, it's a lot of pressure on guys. You know,
It's also a lot
to
of
try and
pressure.
satisfy two women. I have trouble enough keeping one happy.
Ay. I actually have to tell you, though, I think there's a lot of pressure on the actual girl who's in the relationship with the guy. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of pressure on her.
That's right. That's right.
Because there's this other girl coming in that's new and different. And so that's fun for him. And not to mention the entire thing is fun for him because there's two women.
Well, it should be fun for her too.
Exactly, but she's also nervous because I would imagine she would be nervous because she's the one in the relationship. So she's the one pleasing her guy by inviting this woman in for him to give him his fantasy. And so there's a lot of pressure because she's new and it's fun to have new. There's that newness, you know? So he's all like, yeah, this is all for me. And she's like, you know, but don't forget about me, you know, that kind of thing. So I can think that that would be a lot of pressure for her too.
That's right, ladies, but don't feel pressured into any sexual experience.
No, you shouldn't. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely not.
Dr. Fleming also stresses that couples should agree that what I like to do and what you like to do stays on the menu. But anything that you like but I don't like, well, that's done.
See, boundaries.
Yeah.
There has to be a discussion, a very serious discussion prior to any of this, prior to any decisions. The two of you have to agree and disagree, and whatever it is, set your rules prior to any of it. That's what I think.
That's right. Anything that one person
Is uncomfortable about, don't do it.
Yeah, shouldn't happen. Absolutely shouldn't happen. And there's sex therapist Sari Cooper. She says that women should ask themselves, are you in a good place in your relationship, sexually and otherwise?
Yeah, emotionally, physically, everything. And you know, I actually have somebody that I know that actually did this. And
Who? Is she into it?
She did this. And what happened was she and her guy set, you know, boundaries, set rules, you know, did everything that they thought was reasonable. And one of the things she actually asked him to do was to not passionately kiss this other woman. She said, please just don't do that. I can't see that. And he did. And, you know, in the throes of passion, sometimes things happen. And the three of them were just whatever. Not to mention they drank a little bit before. So things really got, you know, crazy. And he really kissed this woman. And that actually, believe it or not, that ended their relationship. So they no longer are together.
That's right. A woman definitely should not bring in a third person if she feels the relationship that she has with her man is on sexual life support. It should be a way of exploring that's mutually fun, not fun for one and not so fun for the other.
Right. Absolutely.
Cooper advises her clients to envision the scenario. Can you imagine your partner with somebody else? What feelings, ask yourself what feelings come up for you. Another point worth discussing beforehand, she says, is how you and your man will make that third person feel comfortable. Remember, they're not just a prop for your fantasy. They're a real person with feelings too.
Absolutely.
And, maybe reading some erotic stories or watching a little bit of porn together. That could be a way of exploring the idea before you actually do it. Because
Sure.
like I'm sure there are people that might not really know what to do with
there's also
and with 3 people there.
exactly. There are also a lot of different clubs that actually couples can go to and meet people and discuss these kinds of things and see if that's, if there's a connection.
Or just observe what's going on.
Sure.
To see if it's for
Absolutely.
you.
Because it may or may not be. It might be a lot of fun discussing it, though.
I think it could be. It doesn't really have to happen.
It doesn't have to happen.
Could
It could
talk
just,
about it.
and it could be part of the fantasy.
That's right. And
And see how you react to the fantasy.
that's right. And if you do decide to move on, you really got to find that right
Person.
third person. And is this when you call your sexually vivacious pal, picking someone well and who might be a close friend might not be the best choice,
Definitely not the best choice.
especially if it doesn't go the way you want it.
Exactly. And then there's a lot of friendship ending. Definitely not the best choice.
Right. That person is in your world, and you might not know whether that person is really trustworthy to keep the
secret.
yeah.
Or beyond the trust, it might end your friendship because, it might make things weird.
It could completely change.
It would completely change your relationship.
Yeah, there's a dating site that has options for couples who search together, and one of them is I was shocked. OkCupid, and this might be a good place to to look. But my concern with with strangers is, man, who's healthy and who's not.
Oh yeah,
that would be a big concern for me.
yeah. I would also have that.
And you were talking a little bit ago about establishing boundaries.
Yes.
And you're right, because once a couple has decided to bring in a third person in the game, they really should establish these boundaries.
I agree.
You don't know what's going to come next in the heat of the moment. Yeah, and it could lead to hurt feelings.
Absolutely. I agree.
Dr. Fleming says that that couples should tell the third person what their boundaries are.
That is very important because this way she knows.
That's right.
She knows. And so if you don't want your guy passionately kissing her, she'll know not to passionately kiss him.
Right. It's really smart to discuss those boundaries, and you do it in a public setting before bringing that person.
Absolutely.
You don't talk about this.
Yeah, you go and you meet for coffee. There are plenty of little coffee places. You sit down, you have a cup of coffee, and you chat.
What you chat about at coffee?
Exactly.
What kind of things do you chat about?
All kinds of things.
Like what?
And in this case, you'd be talking about your relationship, and you'd be talking about a fantasy.
Yeah. Okay. So you decide you're ready to take that third person into your bed. It is really important to dip your toe in versus going to the deep end of the pool, because once you brought a third person into the bedroom, there is no going back.
So what you do is after your coffee, then you decide on another day to go and meet. And this time you meet in a private setting and you share some wine and talk and maybe watch some sexy videos and just have a conversation about sex. And, maybe you have a few toys out and you guys get into a little playful mood and you see where that goes before you actually get involved. That's the next step.
That's called, there's a name for that.
Foreplay.
No, well,
What's it called?
It's called soft swapping.
Soft swapping.
Yes, soft swapping.
You just know so many things.
Or foreplay. Now,
I thought it would be foreplay for the whole event, but whatever. Okay.
That's another term. That's
Soft
very
swapping is
but
good
soft
too.
swapping
But
is
see,
actually the term.
I would think soft swapping would be two couples swapping.
Oh, okay. That's a thought.
You know, that's having a comfortable private conversation in somebody's home. Two couples just, sitting back, drinking some wine, feeling the vibe, the sexy TV and some lovely music and, you know.
Okay. So instead of having a real threesome,
That's a foursome. But that's what I would think soft swapping would be.
Well, soft swapping means that instead of having a threesome, there's just some light touching. You can start with caressing and kissing and more touching.
I got it.
Before you move on to anything more intimate. And it may be something like outer course. I don't know, but that's still a little intimate.
That is very intimate.
That's true. That is.
Yeah.
And so maybe not outer course.
Yeah.
But if anything doesn't feel right, you can stop it at any point.
Sure.
It's just it's the kissing and the touching and maybe
and then
playing
you
around
decide
with the toys
on
and the
if
movies
you're
and stuff.
going to go any further.
That's right.
And that becomes a whole different day or night.
That's right. That's right. It could be a whole different day or night.
Well, that's the point.
And
the point
what
is
it does
that
is it builds. What do we call it? Builds
it builds the attraction. It builds the energy. It builds it until you feel you absolutely positively need it. And when you get it, it's amazing.
That's right. It keeps that attraction high.
Yes.
And you think about it.
Constantly.
It goes in your brain. You can't wait for it to happen. So when it finally does.
Yeah. Then, it's amazing.
So we here at Trend Radio say, go forth and have fun. Explore something else if it's not your thing. But seriously, remember, having a threesome is not the only way to spice things up.
No, there's so many other things. We know that.
That's right. If you want to explore with your partner and nobody else, there are so many other ways you can push the boundaries.
Of course.
After all, didn't we learn anything from 50 Shades of Grey? And now 50 Shades Darker has been out for a few weeks now.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Email us. Let us know what you think of
50 Shades Darker.
50 Shades Darker.
Email us at trendradio920@gmail.com and let us know your thoughts on everything that we were just discussing about the threesomes, about 50 Shades Darker, that kind of thing. And I will send you, yes, I will send you an Anthony Vincent Salon $50 gift certificate that you can use in any way you choose.
Yeah, that's her job, to give away all of my money and services. She'd make a perfect ex-wife, let me tell you that right now.
No, I would not make a perfect ex-wife. You definitely don't want me to be an ex-anything. What?
I wanted to talk about something. I don't know if we can talk about this.
I think we can
on the
talk
radio.
about this.
Yeah.
I think we can absolutely talk about whatever you want to talk about. What's that picture of that lady holding a banana?
She's got a banana, and we came across some instructional video
Oh boy.
on giving hand activity. Yes.
You are something else,
And for a guy.
Wait a second. Let me just ask you a question.
Sure.
See, I wasn't privy to this information yet because you were watching a video and taking notes. Is this how you got your information? Or wait for it. Or is this just from your mind?
Oh, what I'm about to
Reveal.
is a conglomeration
Oh boy.
of new knowledge
And old
video
knowledge.
and old experience from way back.
Wait, he just every day,
Hey, my father Although he was a good father, he was a little bit mean. He never bought me any toys. I
You had to make your own
toys.
You had to play with your own?
I said, Dad, can I have some toys? He said, yeah, I'll give you some toys. Here's your toys right here. He would cut the pockets out of my pants and say, oh, play with yourself. You don't need any damn toys.
Oh my gosh. You're unbelievable. Okay. Go on with what you've taken notes on.
Well, I can tell you that, being handsy with your man really has the potential to being the most terrifying of all the sex acts.
Yeah, especially if you don't know what you're doing with your hands.
That's right. I mean, if there you are, half-heartedly wiggling your hands and twisting your wrists and attempting to create a pleasurable experience for your partner.
This subject is funny.
Now, there are pleasurable squeezes, and there are squeezes that will terrify him.
That can hurt.
Yeah, that feel like he's about to lose his favorite body part.
Yeah. You mean his toy?
So, the video was about focusing on the entire boat from stem to stern, or the dinghy,
whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
Was it an actual instructional video?
Yeah.
And,
it was a video.
And you watched
explanation.
This.
Yeah. Yeah, what I do for this show.
Yeah.
What I do for this show.
That is funny.
What I endure.
Yeah, I'm sure that it was awful. I'm sure it was awful for you. Oh my God, that's so funny. So what did you actually come up with?
Well, we learned that you should not be drinking a frozen margarita before you decide.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to approach this with ice cold hands.
No.
Yeah. You'll turn your guy into a turtle.
Yes, you will.
Yeah, that would be bad. Okay, what else did you learn?
I learned that wrapping some Mardi Gras beads around your hands might be a good idea.
That would add for some friction and some fun, huh?
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
You want to be in a comfortable position.
So you want to just prep for this?
You want to prep a little bit.
Okay.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Get yourself in a...
So if you're going to have some hand action, you want to, have some prepping, handsy prepping.
That's right. You don't want to be twisting him in 50 different directions.
So you basically also, it's important then, with what we've established is to have nice, warm, soft hands.
Yes.
Okay. That, use some nice hand cream on your hands so they're soft and smooth. Okay. And then you want to have your beads with you and your fun little stuff.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, Ashley Manta, she's a sexuality educator.
Really?
And yes, and she is one of the co-creators of International Hand Action Day.
And when is International Hand Action Day?
It's July 21st.
Oh my God, really?
There's a day for it.
That's the same day that I found out that I was cancer-free.
Yes,
so we celebrate Hand Action Day and my being cancer-free at the same, oh my God, on the same day.
That's right.
Wow, it's amazing. That's a good day.
She says, think of this like a massage. Like you're getting an entire body massage.
So you want the nice, sweet-smelling oils.
Yes.
That are lovely, and you want stuff, little props.
Yes.
Okay.
And just like with a fabulous, body massage, pay attention to your rhythm and the pressure.
Absolutely.
Because
if you press too hard, you're going to hurt the muscle. And you don't want to do that.
No, you don't want to do that. And, just like with a body massage, this is a body part massage. Look for his reaction and respond to his body and adjust your rhythm accordingly.
And let me just say this one thing, though. I think sometimes your guy could actually show you a thing or two. He
could?
knows. Nobody knows this better than he does.
I just realized what you're talking about. Yes.
Nobody knows.
He pretty
this.
much knows.
He knows exactly what feels good. Yeah, in that department. So why not?
Now, the sex experts all agree that on at least one tip. That
Be careful with the tip.
And you said it.
No pun intended.
You said it with lotion making your hands soft. Mm-hmm. Well, if you apply a little extra lotion after your hands are already smooth, that extra lotion has the power to take an otherwise mediocre experience and turn it into an event.
Speaking of events, I just have to interrupt you for 1 minute. For this event, why don't you come into the salon and have your hair look absolutely fabulous? You can have your makeup done and your nails, because let's face it, it's all about the hands.
That's right. You don't want any hangnails.
So you want your nails to look fabulous. Hangnails? No, not a good thing. And they're sharp. So you reach out to us at trendradio920@gmail.com, and we will send you a $50 gift certificate to Anthony Vincent Salon that you can use for anything you choose. And then go see your guy.
Very good.
I think so.
Now, sex experts approve these hand techniques and the lotions, and you can have the best techniques and the best lotions in the world. But if you want to know the true secret to giving an amazing handy, it's you. The more enthusiastic you are, the sexier and more rewarding the experience will be for both of you.
Oh my God. See? Now, I think that is perfect.
So, he's going to be turned on even more if he knows that you're into it as much as he is. So, have fun with it. Him seeing your enthusiasm, having fun, and letting him see how much you are loving it too.
Perfect.
That was fun. I got to tell, I got some words of wisdom. If I had $1 for every girl that found me unattractive, they'd eventually find me attractive.
Oh, is that what you think?
Well, I'm very, very patriotic,
But I know you are. You're patriotic.
Of course.
Yeah.
The colors red, white, and blue.
I love
To
them.
me, yes, they stand for freedom and strength.
Absolutely.
Until they're flashing behind you.
Well, you know what? Just don't do anything bad anymore.
I can't help it. I was drawn that way.
Yeah. I don't know. The cops seem to get me a lot.
I know. They just.
I drive a little too fast.
And
But I'm trying to slow down. It's hard.
I know it's difficult. So, do you know?
I know
that
a lot.
There are some guys that they will climax or orgasm a little too quickly.
Yes. And I actually have to tell you something. I hear about this a lot. Yeah, I actually have chats about this, and I offer advice to some of my clients on what they could actually, do to help their guys or tell their guys to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, all the time.
Girls do talk about it.
Well, do you have any ideas to keep guys from orgasming too fast?
This never happened to me before.
I'm not saying that it has or hasn't, but I don't think this is about you necessarily.
No, it's never about me.
Oh yeah, until you say it's always about me. Okay, we'll talk about
but
this.
Here's what some guys do to try to avoid that situation in the first place.
Okay, what's some good advice from the master here?
They condition themselves. So what they do is they masturbate.
Oh, prior to.
That's right. If he has a little advance notice, it's like, think of it like going to the bathroom before a long road trip.
Well, you're going to definitely do that. And then you're going to stop in the middle.
Oh,
And then
yes. Yeah, you
toward the
stop.
end,
You
yeah.
stop entirely. You know, whatever
basically-
the excuse. Now, you need to stop him.
So basically, then Ben Stiller had this right in Something About Mary.
Yeah.
He made sure to take care of everything prior to seeing her so that he wasn't like ravenous.
Right, but then he gave her a
And
new
rabid.
hairstyle. So
Well, he didn't give her a new hairstyle. She just swiped whatever he had. Oh, look, hair gel, and put it in her hair, and there you go, like
Okay.
glue.
But you know, you're absolutely right. You know, whatever you do, you know, change positions, stop. You know, stopping momentarily can help him like reset.
Absolutely,
You know?
absolutely.
And you know, he might want to be upfront about it and let you know that he's edging. You know, which can make.
Well, the interesting thing is most women actually do know. They do know when it's getting to be that time, and if they don't want that to be, they know to move, to shift, to nibble his ear, change the thought
That's right.
happening, change the process that's happening.
Well, like something unsexy.
No, definitely sexy, but just change the motion, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
See, just imagine this for just a moment, okay? And I'm just going to go with missionary right now, a missionary position. You're facing each other. You can see him. You can feel him. You understand what's happening. You know he is about to just let go. Shift. You don't want that to happen right away. Shift. Or like I said, nibble on his ear, or just move underneath him. You will disrupt things, trust me. If you move things around and you change your position a little bit, it will disrupt things and it will change the thought process, and he will no longer be at that point because he has to move too. If you move, he moves.
So basically, you're saying switch to a position that does nothing for him.
No, I don't ever think any position should ever do nothing for your mate.
Alrighty, so that doesn't work as well.
I don't
So
know
to
if
buy
that-
some time.
Well, you want to buy some time, but that's not as sensitive. I don't want to call it work as well or does nothing for him, because doing nothing for him, that's not a good thing. You don't want somebody to ever say to you, this does nothing for me.
Oh, that's awful.
I agree.
So you can slow things like way down.
Absolutely, by just changing your position.
That's right.
And doing something a little bit different.
But, you know, if he's a big fan of like hard and fast, you know, and passionate, how could you try to, how do you slow things down and, you know,
Okay,
get
well,
all
he
romantic?
also knows. He also knows what's about to happen. It's also up to him. If he wants to keep things going, he's going to, especially if he's much bigger and stronger and fast and rough. There's nothing that she can do at that point. I mean, she can say something, you know, because she might be a petite little thing and not be able to do anything about it, you know, and at that point she can say something, you know, she can pinch him.
Bite him hard.
Pinch him.
Leave a mark. Punch him in the face.
I don't think she wants to punch him, but
Kick him in the nuts.
she can't kick him. She can't kick him. Her legs are obviously not being used that way, and he's, yeah, well, whatever. But she can pinch him. Reach over and pinch your guy.
Wouldn't it just be easier to get like a real thick condom? I mean, you should always be using protection anyway.
Yeah, well, a lot of couples don't because they're monogamous and they don't need to and they don't want to, and they might be wanting to have a child. You know, you don't know. You don't know the circumstances.
Okay, so you don't want to flick him in the junk or kick him.
No.
You don't want to do that.
No,
Okay,
why would
that's
you
the-
want to damage the goods?
You're right. That's not
You know,
recommended.
pinch him in the face. Go for the face or the shoulder. You know, I mean, there's other ways.
Yeah, I
But
guess
I
kicking
think-
him or flicking him,
kicking
that's like
him
throwing
and- yeah.
a bucket of water on somebody to wake
You don't
them
want to
up.
do that. You don't want to do that. But he knows and she knows. So there's going to be something that you can do to, you know, to stop the motion.
The motion of the ocean.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to stop it, but
No, you want to slow it down.
slow it down. Drag out the floor play.
Yeah.
Is it floor play or foreplay?
Yeah, it's foreplay, but if
Okay.
you want to call it floor play, you don't know where people are having the foreplay anyway. It could be on the floor.
That's right.
Yeah.
I forget the movie what it was, but Pritzi's Honor. Pritzi's Honor.
Oh,
That's
yeah. Jack Nicholson, Angelica Houston, great movie.
Yes, it was. Loved it.
You wanna do it, Charlie?
Well, yeah.
Right here, on the Oriental.
Mamma mia.
So, the one thing that I think a gal can do is to make sure that she orgasms quickly. Because
Now, why is the pressure on her?
because if you can't beat him, join him.
Oh, how funny. Well, here's the difference. See, here's the thing. Women can have multiple orgasms where
Yes.
men can have more than one, but not at the same time.
Okay.
So women have an advantage there. So ladies, just, your guy, if he's any good, he's going to concentrate on you anyway.
He should.
Yes, that's what I said. If he's any good, he's going to do it. So go for it. Just you enjoy yourself, because I have to tell you something. He enjoys you enjoying yourself.
That's right.
That's his goal.
His goal is to satisfy you.
His goal is really not to satisfy himself unless he's a selfish pig, and then we don't want to be with him anyway, right? So let him concentrate on you and do for you, and then you work on him.
That's right.
I think that's the best one there.
And at that point, you can practice the habits of highly sexual couples.
Oh, okay then.
That's right. If you've
What's up? What's going on? You're all
I
like,
lose my train of thought over here.
Your train of thought.
Thought, yes, just like
Ooh.
the floor play.
Everything has an extra R in it today. Rawr.
So, I used to be a pirate.
You're a pirate.
Yes.
I don't know where he comes up with this stuff.
And they made a movie. They made a pirate movie. You know what it was rated?
R.
So, people, if you've ever been involved in a long-term committed relationship, they have ups and downs, good days,
yeah.
bad days, sometimes even
Crazy
bad,
days.
Yeah, oh, yeah. But you know that keeping your sex life consistently sexy is really challenging.
But it's important.
Oh, it is. It is.
You thought for a minute there.
Well, yeah.
It's very important.
Especially when you're past that passionate honeymoon stage where...
When you're past the new stage,
That's
and
the honeymoon
things,
stage,
Yeah,
no?
I know, but sometimes, you just need to say it like this. Sometimes, you have that new pair of pants or those new shoes, and
Can't wait to wear them.
yeah, you can't wait to use them, and then you use them all up, and then they're no fun anymore. You want a new pair of pants. Well, revive. Keep those pants clingy, hot, sexy, clean, whatever you need to do, and keep your guy going that way too.
I want to get me a pair of them pants.
Alrighty then.
That was a Target commercial.
I know. It was a mixture of Target and Pirate.
Well, that's what I am. I'm a pirate for Target. Arr.
Okay, yeah, you should see this, everybody.
Elise,
Anthony.
highly sexual couples, they carve out time to be together
They
every day.
make moments that are magical.
That's right.
Always.
No matter
Yes.
how busy their days.
As long as, here's the thing, it's very, very, it's crucial to your being. It's crucial to your coupleship, if you will.
They prioritize spending
Yes.
that time together.
Yes, even if it's only for a moment.
That's right.
You know-
And sneaking away to cuddle or touch or whatever.
Yeah. And to hang out, just to say something, sexy to each other, to kiss, to passionately kiss.
To say I love you every opportunity you get.
Exactly. So the thing is that even, again, sometimes you have 4 hours together, sometimes you have 4 minutes, and so make those minutes work. Make them happen.
That's right. Highly intimate couples consistently set regular, intentional times to be together.
Yes.
And, whether it's specifically sexual or not.
No, because sometimes you don't even have time for that. But you always have time to take a moment with each other to say, oh my God, you look great in those jeans. Oh my God, just give me a kiss. You always have time to grab her and put her in and wrap your
make
arms.
her feel beautiful.
And make him feel wanted and sexy.
And appreciate it.
Always.
Diana Daphner, she's an intimacy expert, and she leads a workshop called Intimacy Retreats.
Nice.
Yeah, and she does it with her husband, 31 years. His name is Richard. And this couple wrote a book called Tantric Sex for Busy Couples.
Yes.
How to Deepen Your Passion in Just 10 Minutes a Day.
Wow. Isn't
that's
that
what
amazing?
you just said.
Yeah, we are totally on the ball, you and I.
We are. You don't
really
hear this stuff anywhere.
No, we're
Just
really good.
Right here, Trend Radio, if you're just joining us.
Absolutely.
We're Lisa and Anthony, and we talk about romance, love, lust, and sex.
Mostly sex.
And we give you the information that you just can't find. You just don't hear.
And you know what else we give you? We give you gift certificates to
Elise
Anthony
gives the
Vincent
gift
Salon.
certificates out. She just did.
Yeah, reach out to us at trendradio920@gmail.com. You'll be glad you did, because I'm going to send you a $50 gift certificate to Anthony Vincent Salon. You'll be happy.
But getting back to Richard.
Absolutely.
And Diana, what was her name?
Yeah.
Diana, that's right. In their case, they practice what they preach, and they have a daily 10-minute union of intimacy, and it brings joy and delight to the rest of their day.
That is so important.
Yeah.
I think that is so great.
And Elise, there are going to be days when you're unable to have sex or simply aren't feeling it.
Right, but that's why I was saying, if you only have a few minutes, make those minutes work for you.
Right, but they say that the goal isn't to force yourself into something that you don't want to do.
Of course not.
But to find other ways to keep the intimacy, alive.
Flowing.
That's right.
Yes.
Even if it means, and you said this, if it means holding hands on the couch and watching TV and rubbing her feet, whatever.
Exactly.
Whatever things that that your partner appreciates.
Exactly.
Maybe doing the dishes, throwing them in the dishwasher, even though you don't rinse them first, and sometimes they don't come out as clean as they should. But at least you put them in the damn dishwasher.
Yes. Just put them in neatly, okay? That's something that's not good. If you don't put them in neatly, then they get all over the place, and then they can break, and then there are issues, and then you get upset, and oh my God.
But another thing that they do, and this, they spend time apart.
So important. So important. Have your own life. Everybody needs their own life. Don't worry about what's going on with what he's doing. He shouldn't worry about what you're doing. You should worry about each other and care about each other's well-being.
And pursue your own interests.
But do your own thing, because that's what makes you interesting to each other.
That's right. And more desirable.
Totally. Absolutely agreed. You need to have your own friends. He needs to have his own friends. You need to have your own lives
that
you can put together.
Mm-hmm. That little bit of distance gives you the opportunity to grow as individuals.
Exactly.
And cultivate a mystery and yearn for the closeness.
Absolutely agree. I could not agree more. And you know what? You don't need to see what he's doing all day long. Don't take his phone. Don't do that. Don't take her phone. Don't look into each other's stuff.
Oh, don't call, what do they call that? Machine gun calling? And
oh my gosh. I know somebody, if she can't reach her friend, she just keeps calling and texting and calling.
How annoying that is.
She is an annoying girl.
Yes.
Yeah, that is awful. It is awful. Give the guy a break. I mean, wow.
And, keep your friends and your regular nights out with them.
Absolutely.
Make your hobbies as important as your date nights.
Of course. Because you are your own person.
That's right. The
Yeah.
more interested you are in the world, the more interesting you are to another.
To each other. Exactly.
Yeah. And that's like really sexy.
That is really sexy.
know.
Exactly.
And, it's easy to have, a hot one night stand, but, hot sex on day 1187, that takes work and plenty of communication.
Yes. And communication is key, especially if you want to keep your guy or girl. Talk dirty to them. Talk about, things that turn them on.
Yeah, ask for what they want during sex.
Exactly.
Listen to their needs.
Be sexy with him or her, the way you want them to be with you. Be the way you are and be that for them, be that sexy person so that keeps them going.
And have a sense of humor.
Oh my God.
Especially when things don't pan out in bed. The way you hope.
And you know what? Have a sex of humor. Have a sense of humor with anything anyway, because it's not that important. The most important thing is that you guys are relaxed, comfortable, enjoying each other's time, and not picking on each other, because that's not sexy.
No. And, research shows that talking about sex, even while you're having sex, leads to more satisfying sex.
Absolutely. Well, I think I was just saying that.
Yeah, I knew I heard it somewhere.
Yeah.
And, and a new study reveals that those who believe in sexual growth, that's the belief that you can work to improve sex and overcome challenges.
Always.
Yeah.
You can always improve your relationship, your sexual relationship, your intimacy. You can always improve it. And just keep looking for fun things to do together.
Right. Those people have happier relationships than those who believe in, and I never heard this term before, sexual destiny. That's the belief that you're meant to be together and the sex will follow. But sexual destiny.
I've never heard that term.
Neither have I.
But
it's
I
a
never,
term.
I always say it's not the destination, it's the journey.
It's the journey, that's right. And make the journey
Exactly.
together, holding hands side by side. Sometimes you're pushing your person and sometimes you're pulling them.
Always.
But always by your side.
Together. Yeah, always by your side.
That's
exactly.
Right. Yeah. You've been listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Do you want more? Go right to our website, 920thejersey.com, click on demand, and scroll directly to us.
And get the lowdown on getting down. Tune in to your bad boy inside you.
Or your bad girl.
Listen each week. We always have something sexy to say. Got questions? Email us now at trendradio920@gmail.com. You'll be glad you did.
And remember, your smile is your logo, your personality is your business card.
But how you make people feel, well, that becomes your trademark.
I'm Anthony Vincent,
And I'm Elise.
and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye for now.